Happy International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Month. Happy Mother's Day. Happy March. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther. As always, I'd like to thank all my 100 subscribers. They say the road to 100 subscribers is the hardest, so I'm saying a big thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. And if you are watching me, if you are here and you're yet to subscribe and you love my content, so why have you not subscribed? So please hit the subscribe button and let's hit the road to 200 subscribers. Okay, thank you so much. So this is the month of March and it's the Women's Month. So I'd like to do a video relating to that. A lot of people did the hashtag choose to challenge last week, and today I'm choosing to challenge women. Yes, I celebrate all the women, I celebrate all the mothers all around the world. You guys are doing amazing. We are doing amazing things, okay? But I want to challenge women. Yes, we live in a patriarchal society and there's all this prejudice, all these biases, all this confining and defining women and everything that works against women. Yes, but I want to challenge what women do to women. You know, there's this mantra, there's this saying that says women supporting women. Yeah, but do we do that enough? Do we do that enough? And I would like to, my observation, what I see makes me to believe that even women do not support their fellow women enough. Even women, they fuel this patriarchy, right? They support it. Now I'd like to tell you what I mean. Take a look at a woman. Many times, a woman who has worked hard, who has climbed the ladder of success in her chosen career and has gotten to the top. You see people saying that she must have slept her way to the top. She must have slept with some man, you know, for her to get to where she got to. And we find a lot of women even doing that to their fellow women. Whether or not she slept with somebody to get to that place, you may not even know her story. A lot of women work so hard, you know, to get to the top in their careers, but we see other women, maybe out of jealousy or whatnot, trying to bring them down, trying to say to or insinuate that they slept their way to the top. Okay, I don't know if that's the way it is all over the world, but I'm talking from the perspective of where I come from Africa, from Nigeria, where I come from. That happens a lot. Also, a woman gets married, she drops her father's name, she takes her husband's name. This is not the case all the time, you know, but mostly women take their husband's surname. Yes, they leave their father's house. And in my place in Yoruba land, when you leave your father's home or you leave your parents' home and you get married, they tell you, bye, you no longer have a room in our house, so you now belong to your husband's family. Stay there and don't come back. You know, it's supposed to be everlasting, right? Yeah, good. But in the husband's family, where she has married into, she's not seen as a true family, right? And I'm not talking generally, right? Everything I'm saying in this video is not a general statement, you know, but we see a lot of instances of things I'm going to talk about. Now, in some, as I was saying, in some of these marriages, they leave their father's house, their parents' house. They no longer belong there fully. Now, they marry into their husband's family, and they also do not belong there fully. Most times, she's not seen as family, you know, because she's not their blood. They are doing things, they are doing meetings, and she's not. I'm sure you get what I mean. But so, where exactly does she belong? She has left her father's house. She's married into a new family, and instead of them to absorb her and treat her like a family that she is, she's neither here nor there. She's not seen exactly as family. She's treated as some woman who has just come, you know, to give us children. Now, this is what happens in some families. So, and we find even women in those families treating the wives that marry into their families like that. Some mothers-in-law, some sisters-in-law, and you know, this is so sad. Another instance is about childbirth. Yeah, a couple gets married and everyone is watching, everyone is expecting, when are you going to have a child, when are you going to have a child? And sometimes there is a delay in childbearing, but all the focus is on the wife, all the focus is on the woman, asking her what the problem is, forgetting that when there is a delay in childbearing, it could be the problem could be from the wife, and it could also be from the woman. But we are conditioned to believe that if a marriage has not produced a child yet, it's the problem of the wife. She must have aborted a lot of babies. She must have done something wrong, I mean, to make her barren, right? That's the word, barren, right? But sometimes it's also the fault of the men. So the men might not even be doing what they ought to do about their infertility, but everything falls on the woman, right? And we see again mothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, some women in the family maltreating that wife just because of this, not knowing even if the problem is from the husband, and even if the problem is from the wife, does it warrant this maltreatment? Is it their fault? Most of the times it's not their fault. So women who are supposed to be supporting the wives and helping them, not knowing that even when they stress them too much, when they give them all this this unnecessary pressure, it even worsens the situation. And then some of our churches do not also help matters, right? When a call is made for people who want children, who are still waiting on God for children, the focus is on the women. They are called barren, the unfruitful, right? What about the men? Don't they also have fertility issues? Why should every focus, all the prayers be on the woman? Why not pray for the couple? If you're a couple and if you're waiting on God for a child, let's pray for you. The problem might be with the man, it might not be for the women, right? So I think we should do better in these areas. There are many things that I can go on and on and I'll talk about. Now let's look at the issue of rape. When a woman is raped, the questions that people ask are, what did you wear? What were you doing there? Right? Now, we forget that the problem is with the rapist. Rapists are perverts, right? Whether you wear something, whether you are not wearing something provocative, they rape women. They rape women who are fully covered from head to toe. They rape babies. Are you going to ask a baby what she's wearing? They rape, okay, fathers also rape their children. So are you going to ask the child what they are wearing or what they are doing to seduce their fathers? So instead of us to judge the rapist and bring him to book and get justice for the victim, we try to guilt the victim. We try to fault the victim, and sometimes we just look over it and look the other way, like it must be our fault. It's your fault, so you deserve to be raped. And we find women at the forefront of this attack on rape victims. Now, I'll say again that what I'm saying, everything I'm saying in this video is not a general statement, okay? But these are things that happen around, right? I go through social media a lot and I see comments. I read things and I read comments of people. I mean, the way people comment, the way they talk, their mentality. You see women working against, campaigning against women on things that is not a fault of theirs. Now let's take a look at domestic violence. We know that domestic violence happens to both sexes. You know, it happens sometimes. It's the wife abusing the man physically. I'm not talking about any of that kind of abuse. I'm talking about physical abuse. It tilts more towards the women than the men, because women are naturally weaker than, men are naturally stronger than men, and the husbands, they are the head of the family, so they have that advantage, to maltreat the wife in the home. So mostly women are the targets. Women are victims of domestic abuse, and when this happens, you start hearing kind of all sort of questions. What did you say to him? What did you do to get him angry? What did you do? What, you must have been running your mouth. You must have been doing all sort of things for him to beat you, so you deserve it. And you hear women also peddle this, saying things like this. You forget that there are many cases, there are many instances where the wife is even subservient, obedient, submissive, but still gets beaten. Men who beat their wives, I can, for me, I can categorize them in the, I can put them in the same category as rapists, because they are the problem. They need solutions to their problem. They need help, right? They need, I mean, the problem is with them. A man who rapes, a man who beats their wives, they need help. They have problems. So we shouldn't always look at the victims and trying to see what they did wrong. What about the abuser? If your wife provokes you, I mean, there are a lot of things that you can do. There are a lot of things that you can do rather than beat your wife. And one thing we should remember is that when a husband is beating the wife, it not only affects the wife, it affects the children in many ways, because the children grows up either believing that it is right for a man to treat his wife like so, or it damages them some way. Okay, so please let's stop this blaming and shaming women who get beaten by their husbands. And we've seen cases I've seen cases when women just out of defense or out of not knowing what to do, not wanting, they just stab their husbands, they just do something, and these women die. And when these women are going through abuse, fellow women are telling them, stay there, don't, what are you doing, stop doing what you are doing, and don't let him beat you, until the woman dies. It's appalling. It's heartbreaking. So I think women, we should do better. We should do better in the way we treat ourselves, in the way we support ourselves. I think we should do better. Another instance is childbearing. A woman gets pregnant and she goes through cesarean section, and other women are calling her lazy. They are doing all sort of things. Maybe she's not breastfeeding and they're telling her she's lazy, she's this, she's that. What's the stress? What's the stress all about? Women to fellow women. Some people forget that people have choices. Some people have choices, and I don't get it. There's also this issue of divorce. Yeah, a woman is a single mother. She's divorced from her husband, and she's blamed without knowing what the issue is. Some people, when they just see a woman and they get to know that, oh, she's not married, or she's not with her husband, oh, she must be a terrible woman, she must be this, she must be that, without knowing what their problem was or what the problem is. They didn't know what led to the breakup of that marriage. They didn't know what happened, but they just assume that it must be that the wife is a bad woman. We must stop this. We must stop it. We have to stop this. Also, there's this issue of widowhood. Women lose their husbands and they are subjected to terrible culture, shaving their hair and taking them all through some sorry. So my daughter has bumped my video as always, so you just go ahead and do it together. We move. Okay, so as I was saying, a woman loses her husband, and the first thing is that she must have been the one who killed her husband, and she's made to go through all sort of rituals, appalling rituals, and these rituals are done to them by same women, older widows in the community, just because they went through this, just because it's the culture. What happened to putting away cultures that do not help us? I can go on and on and on and on, right, about all the things that we do to each other, the things that women do to other women. I go on social media and I read things. I see the way people write. I see the way people think. Women, the way they attack women unnecessarily. We can do better. So I'm challenging us women. There are other instances that I can't even go into all these kind of things. Women are seen as second-class citizens in some countries. Okay, there are families where there are families where the mothers-in-law, the sisters-in-law, they make the wife go through hell just because she's married into their family. And there are also daughters-in-law who make their mothers-in-law and sisters-in-law go through hell just because she doesn't want them around, right? So I think we should do better and embrace each other and love each other more. Life as a woman is already difficult. We're already faced with a lot of things in the society. So women should be supporting each other more and not adding to these problems that we go through every day in the society. If we are not supporting this patriarchy, all these kind of things, that this subjugation that we go through in society, I think it will go a long way to reduce, right? But because women are also at the forefront of this patriarchy, so it seems like it has come to stay. So I'd like to challenge women, please, let's do better. Let's do better as friends, as sisters, as in-laws, as neighbors, as church members, as whichever relationship that we have with our fellow women. Let's just do better. Let's support each other better. Now, I'm not saying that we must all go all out to support bad behavior just because we want to support women. There are women who behave so badly. I'm not saying we should support it. We should call out bad behavior for what it is. But when it's not a case of bad behavior, sometimes it's just a case of jealousy or just wickedness. So please, let's just put this aside and renew our hearts and just show love to each other as women. Then even the men will not have a choice but to love us and support us more. Support each other's businesses, support each other's endeavors. Support each other's everything that we do as women, in parenting, in child caring, in pregnancy. So please, that is my challenge. I'm choosing to challenge women to support women even more. Okay? So I'm wishing all women out there happy International Women's Month, happy Mother's Day, and God bless you.